Emperor Nero. Welcome. It is an honor to interview such a significant emperor from the Roman times.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
I thought we would start with your childhood. You were born on December 15th in 37 AD in Antium. Antium is just southwest of Rome and on the shore, correct?
Yes, it's a wonderful place.
Tell us a little bit about your parents, Agrippina the Younger and Gnaeus and Barbus.
Well, my father died when I was 3, and my mother was sent to exile when I was very young by her brother, the emperor.
What was it like not knowing your own father?
It was hard not having a father, but I didn't know him too well, so it didn't affect me that much. In reality, when my mother married Claudius, he became a father figure for me.
How did you exactly become the heir to Claudius?
When my mother returned to Rome, she married Claudius and then had him adopt me. And because Claudius' son was younger than me, I became next in line for the throne.
Growing up, what was the environment you lived in? And were there any people that influenced you?
With my father dead and my mother hungry for power, life was frantic. My mom was doing everything she could to get me into power. This meant killing everybody and anyone who got in the way. Because of this, she was very influential on me, and not necessarily in a good way. She made decisions for me that only benefited herself.
Do you think this could have played a part in your insanity later on?
Yes, definitely. Seeing my mother kill people definitely lessened my morals and made killing seem more lighthearted.
That's fascinating. Could you take us through how you actually became the emperor?
I'd be glad to. Well, in the year 54 AD, Claudius died, most likely because of one of my mother's plots, which I was not involved in actually, and because his son was younger than I became next in line for the throne, and at that time I was 17.
So your mother killed Claudius. Would you say your mother played a large role in your rise to power?
Yes, that's definitely an accurate statement. She not only married Claudius, but also had him adopt me, and then later killed him. This basically put me in line for the emperor, and also interesting to note that when I became the emperor, she had a lot of control over me.
If your mother helped you become emperor, why did you kill her?
Well, you have to understand, she was not a good woman. She was selfish and only wanted power, and I tried to kill her 3 times, but the last time I got her.
Take us through the assassination of your mother.
Well, as I said earlier, I attempted to kill her 3 times because she was not a good woman, but the last scheme finally prevailed when I sent an assassin to club her to death in 59 AD.
Did you ever regret killing your mother?
Yeah, later in life I missed her a lot when I was lonely, and even though she tried to take power from me and was selfish, she was still my mother.
With her dead, you have complete power over Rome at such a young age. What is this feeling like?
In all honesty, the power was overwhelming. I was only 17, I'd never ruled before, and I had control over the largest empire the world had ever seen. I think this is part of the reason why I later abused my power. I just didn't know what to do with all of it.
What were some of the first decisions you made as emperor, and how would you describe the beginning of your reign?
Well, to get the people on my side, I did a few good things. I started off my rule by ruling like the beloved Emperor Augustus. I gave every male citizen 400 sesterces, and gave every senator that did not have an annual salary up to 500,000 sesterces. I also gave the cohorts a free supply of grain. This gave me popularity among the people, and all in all, my reign started off fairly well.
That's a smart tactic by you, and it seems like the early stage of your rule did in fact go well. Moving on, did you have any significant military achievements?
I did, in fact. Early on in my reign, there was an uprising in Britain because I'd recently been conquered, and I put this down very quickly, although it cost us many Roman lives. And also, there was a struggle with Partha going on during my reign, and I dealt with this diplomatically as well as militaristically, and we gained Armenia as a province country.
This makes you seem like a strong Roman emperor. What did you do to create such a bad reputation for yourself?
Well, for all the good things I did probably twice as many bad things later on in my reign. One of the first unpopular decisions I made was the killing of my mother. Matricide was greatly frowned upon in Rome. Essentially, killing my mother started off my downfall.
At a point during your reign, it seemed as if Rome lost its complete faith in you. Why was this?
I just started to make poor decisions that people didn't understand. They were just not good decisions at all. I became obsessed with music and poetry, and I just really loved music. I actually am a very good musician. If you want to hear me play something, I could definitely play something for you.
Yeah, we can do that after the interview.
Oh, right now? That's perfect. I'll just string up a little something for you.
That's great. Okay, thanks for that. How did the people of Rome like your music and public performances, since we're on the topic?
Well, you might be surprised to hear this, but they actually didn't like my public performances. They didn't think that it was right for an emperor to perform in public. They thought that was something for the lower class people to do. And they just didn't like my music in general. In one instance, a man actually faked death so we could leave my performance, because you could not leave my performance. It was a rule I made, because everyone had to stay until the end. So people fake died, actually, which is shocking, because my music is an honor to hear.
That's rather harsh, but moving on from music. The Great Fire of Rome. Tell us a bit about it.
The Great Fire of Rome. Lasted for 6 days and 7 nights. Just terrible seeing my whole city burn down.
There are rumors about how the fire actually started. Do you know the real reason?
Now, Andrew, I'm going to be honest with you here. I started the Great Fire. I did it to clear room for my golden house. Oh, my golden house. What a building. It was huge, I'll tell you. Unfortunately, the only way to get the land to build it was to burn Rome. It cleared the way perfectly.
Interesting. If this wasn't your fault, so to speak, who was to blame?
The Christians, of course the Christians. I punished them by openly killing them, in fact.
Is that fair?
Life's not fair. Deal with it.
Okay. It is also said that you had an affair. Tell us about that.
Yes, I did actually. I cheated on my wife, Octavia, with the beautiful Poppaea Sabina.
I assume this did not reflect well with the people of Rome.
It did not. The people loved Octavia, actually, and were very upset when I cheated on her, and later divorced her for Poppaea.
Are there any other inhumane acts that you committed while emperor?
Yeah, there were plenty of them, actually. Too many to name, in fact. But one other thing that pops out in my mind that people did not like at all, and probably wasn't the smartest thing by me, is that I would go into Rome in disguise and just kill random people. It was really not very popular with the people at all.
I can tell. Nero, I've kept you a while. Just a few more questions. Rome is essentially fully against you. You have lost all your popularity, and you're acting like a megalomaniac. It seems the only way to escape is suicide, and you do perform suicide in 68 AD. Talk to us about the last few months of your life.
Well, you're spot on, Andrew, when you said that the people didn't like me. It would be an understatement to say that I was unpopular in Rome. They really just didn't like me at all. And along with this, I just didn't have any family or close friends. My two main advisors, Burrus and Sensia, who were largely to give credit to for my early success in life, had left me. So I just had no one to look up to. My mother was obviously out of my life. And the Senate had sent assassins to kill me, so I just decided to take my life instead.
A truly incredible life. Emperor Nero. No matter how people look at you, either negatively or positively, you will always be remembered for what you did to the Roman Empire. Thanks for being with us here today, Nero.
Thank you. I had a great time today, Andrew. Thank you very much for having me.
Everybody, that was Emperor Nero. Thanks again for watching this segment of the History Channel, featuring Emperor Nero.